In the 70s early this morning. We have 77, I believe, in Jupiter. I just checked, but right now here you have on the board, we're talking about, again, just a few clouds in sight. There you go, into my temperatures right now. 76 in Jupiter, 77 in Stewart, 78 in West Palm. You're looking at 77 in Boca. Now, as far as bringing down your rain chances for today, I like this map because we're going to talk about inland versus coastal. So I do expect to see our inland communities dealing with those showers and storms first, but it's going to be a bit more isolated, filling in more for our coastal communities in the later afternoon and evening time frame. So I'd say all of us should be a bit more aware starting around 2 o'clock this afternoon. And once again, high temperatures staying in the lower 90s. Dave? Looking good to go, but I know for my Hokie game, we'll be sitting inside for most of us as we're talking about some showers and storms. But as far as right now, we're looking at mainly dry conditions out there. Temperatures are currently in the 70s as you're waking up or heading outside. Right now, 76 in Jupiter, 77 in Stewart, and looking at 75 in Vero Beach. It's actually going to be a pretty nice, I'd say, beginning half of the day outside. So if you want to hit the waters, I do not blame you. Dealing with a low rip current risk and just like chop throughout the intracoastal. Water temperature comfortably at 88, or I'd say on the warmer side at 88. UV index at about 11 for today. High temperatures are going to top out in the lower 90s. I'll have Vipercast so we can properly time out those storms for you coming up shortly. Dave? Yeah, so right behind me, we're going to start off with a bird's eye view. Boundary line is starting to shift a little bit southward, but this is going to act as train tracks for low pressure systems to just ride along and bring us some of those good afternoon rain chances. On top of that, sea breeze convergence that we typically deal with for the afternoons. But here's a dry view right now towards Delray Beach, and the sun is up. Absolutely lovely view right there. It's going to be a pretty nice start to the day. Temperature wise in the 70s, we have 75 in Fort Pierce, 73 in Belglade, looking at 76 in Lake Worth, and 77 in Boca. High temperatures topping out in the lower 90s for this afternoon. The feels like temperatures nearing those triple digits, but we do have some afternoon relief in the form of dealing with a couple storms. So as far as the beginning half of your day, you're looking good to go. Stopping this near 1 o'clock, you see those storms starting to roll in closer to here at home. Now stopping this at 2 o'clock, we do see a few storms present in our inland communities near Lake Okeechobee, throughout Okeechobee County and western Palm Beach County. Now stopping this closer towards the 4 o'clock time frame, where you deal with a couple more coastal storms possible, especially throughout parts of the Treasure Coast. And then we're going to monitor that until about, I'd say, 5, 6 o'clock at the latest, and then deal with a few storms offshore. As we get into your Labor Day Monday, we do have another round of dealing with some scattered storms possible in the later afternoon and early evening time frame. So something to keep in mind if you do have some outdoor plans for your Labor Day.
WPTV News this Sunday morning. I'm Dave Bowman, joined by WPTV First Alert meteorologist Francis Peyton. A good morning ahead, if nothing else, right?
A beautiful start to the day. I will say that. Temperatures rise quickly, a mix of sun and clouds, and then we'll deal with some problems on the radar or some relief.
All right.
Whatever it may be. But anyway, the Central Atlantic Basin, so just something to keep in mind. Right now, it's not really much of an area of concern. We have our own system to be concerned about, and that's going to come from this boundary. So this stalled out front will allow us to see some higher rain chances, not only for today, but for this upcoming work week too. But here's a dry view outside, a lovely start to the morning with mostly clear skies. Temperatures in the 70s for all of us. 78 in West Palm, 79 Boynton Beach. We were looking at 73 in Belglade and 76 in Indiantown. High temperatures again topping out in the lower 90s. I expect to see the storms fire up as early about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Dave, skipped over to Labor Day, and soon it'll be the holidays. But anyways, before we can stress out about that, let's get into the temperatures this morning. Sitting in the 70s with mostly clear skies as you're waking up. As we get into the afternoon, high temperatures are going to stay around the lower 90s for most of us. I'd say for my inland communities, likely topping out around the upper 80s, I would suggest, because we're going to see those storms start to move in for our inland communities earlier. And then as we get into the later afternoon, that's going to become a threat for the Palm Beaches and as well as the Treasure Coast. Not a washout of the day, and I do want to reiterate that it's just scattered showers and some storms thrown into the mix. But you know what? It's going to be decently busy, I would say, especially for the later afternoon. So just something to keep in mind. As we get into Labor Day, we have another round of dealing with a few more isolated to scattered like storms and showers across our area. I'll have the Vipercast to break it all down for you coming up shortly. Isn't quite so far south that we see too much of a relief in humidity, so we stay on the hot and humid side of the system. And also, it's going to be a bit more unstable too, so dealing with some showers and storms likely each afternoon, especially for the middle to end of this upcoming week. As of right now, though, I mentioned it is a dry and lovely start to the day. Temperatures in the 70s. We have 75 right now in Port St. Lucie, 75 in Vero Beach, 77 in Jupiter, and 77 in Boca. High temperatures today topping out in the lower 90s. As I mentioned, hot and humid once again. But as we turn into the afternoon, we're going to see those showers and storms possible across our area. Not a complete washout, but we'll time it out for you here with your Vipercast so you can see best on the board. Stopping this at 1 o'clock, we're still dealing with dry conditions, but those showers and storms starting to move closer towards our inland communities. I expect to see those showers and storms continue from about, I'd say, 2 o'clock till about 4 o'clock for our inland communities. Then the threat will shift towards our coastline for the later afternoon and the evening time frame. Starts to put us offshore close towards, I'd say, a little after dinner time. And then we're going to deal with mainly dry conditions overnight. As we head into your Labor Day holiday, we have another round of dealing with some showers and storms possible for the afternoon time frame. I'd say specifically, again, timing that out between about 2 to 7 o'clock for your Labor Day holiday. Not a washout. I just want to reiterate it, not a washout, but it will be troublesome for some folks, especially in the afternoon tomorrow. So just something to keep in mind as that boundary is just going to be a bit problematic for us. You'll notice again, dealing with another round of dealing with some isolated storms possible come Tuesday, but it's definitely going to be on the warm.
We have a typical late August day on tap.
Yes, we do. Some storms after about 2 o'clock. High temperatures still hitting those lower 90s. We're not going to shake those 90s for quite some time, it looks like, but at least we have some rain. We do need the rain.
It is. It can be relieving.
Yes.
Well, that'll do it for us this morning. The Today Show is